これが真絶望の姿だ。俺が守る。
Yeah. I think this is gonna be like the intro to the fight, because this game, depending on the fight, has like seamless transition into the gameplay. So I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the intro to the fight, which that's gonna be cool. Anyway, let's just get finally back into this video, though.
Guys, I want to talk to you guys about something a little bit more serious. I don't kind of know what's been going on with fighting games as of late. It feels like we've been playing a lot of fighting games that are all trying to do mostly the same thing. You know, you have the games with the big jump scare buttons that give you huge advantage state, huge opportunities for comebacks for the losing player, and lots of UI gimmicks for a lot of different characters. I mean, look at all the different games that we now know about. And while that's not necessarily the problem I'm having in a vacuum, I just feel like we've been missing something else. You know, like the Gundams, the Soul Caliburs, the Bloody Roars. I just truly want something.
Would you call Maxi Boots
different.
part of the FGC?
This is
Burn the Wish characters? Most likely.
Bleach Rebirth of Souls is not one of those anime games. And in truth, to me, it looks like the rebirth of the early soul of fighting games. And in its DNA, it seems to have some of the greatest fighters that we have not seen in a long while. You have the movement akin to Soul Calibur, where you're moving on something like a forward backwards, but with the Z-axis movement around the player. And I've constantly heard people calling this an arena fighter like Naruto Storm or Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Stop calling it an arena fighter. And I know at the round start it looks really crazy, but trust me, we've been here before. Also, at some point in the options, I saw that they had an option to just move left and right on the D-pad. So I don't know what that's gonna do. I think it might turn into a regular fighter. Immediately, something that I think we noticed is that they're not doing rounds in this game. They're doing stock counts. So you start at 9 lives and you play all the way down to 0, which oddly enough, we've actually seen a game that's done that before. One of the oldest fighting games called Fighter's Destiny, which is a Nintendo 64 game, has had this exact same concept of...
Dang, why'd you wind it up? Oh my god.
Fighter's Destiny, which is a Nintendo 64 game, has had
hit you wide, the Y I oughta
of playing with stocks and
Bing.
then you lose
Oh,
a
no,
certain amount of points depending on what happens in the match. However, there's also another game that is more recent than that, and that game is Toy Fighter.
Who the?
Yes, I finally found a way to talk about Neji Bird on the channel. Let's go. My Neji Bird is sick.
Who the fuck is this? The dog?
Finally, the fighting itself actually reminds me of a completely different game, and that is Psychic Force 2012. And Psychic Force 2012 didn't have the craziest of controls. You had quite a few different options.
Ain't no way you're playing Tweety music.
On how to approach the opponent within the 3D space, but of course the end goal was always
to
get
they
to your opponent
flying
and try to knock them out. And it was really cool because every character had a completely unique play
Oh, they
style.
are flying.
They all had different mechanics that they had in their movesets and things like that, kind of like what's going on in Bleach. And oddly enough, it's a game that I've known about, but I had not played it until recently when I made this video. And the funny thing is, I didn't even used to know it for the gameplay. I just knew that soundtrack was amazing. And while we're on the topic of music, Bleach Rebirth of Souls that sound. And the funny thing is, I didn't even used to know it for the gameplay.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the last one.
And it's being done by none other than Takeharu Ishimoto, and is being performed by Bones, which to me and for you guys from this channel should be very, very familiar. Those are the people who did the Neo The World Ends With You soundtrack. So you know the music is going to go crazy.
It's raining today?
Even the 2 songs that they have posted on the YouTube channel sound like something that you would hear in Tweety And it sounds like Twitter music would go really good inside of Bleach. Actually, in fact, let me try something.
逃げるなら今だ。
He said nigga.
勝負だ。
All right, you did not do this this long wind up to it, but I understand it as like an editor. But as a viewer, you did not have to do this long wind up for it. Oh, you're using this song. I do not like this song. Ugh.
すぐに終わる。さあ、始めようぜ。Get ready. It's on. よくここじゃねえぜ。呪い。見切れる。目障り。消し取れ。見えるよ埋めてみる今のやばいこれはどう所詮はこの程度かこの力まだ慣れてねえんだでも行く検査3月これが俺のばっかりだ
It's crazy how the music parallels work so well. I definitely know we're in for some bangers. Going back.
Does it go around his arm? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think you see it. Oh, they zoomed in too much. But yeah, I seen it. I seen it before. I don't know what trailer, but we seen it when he does it.
It's crazy how the music parallels
I think it's
work
during
so
the
well.
opening.
I definitely know we're in for some bangers. Going back to BLEACH Rebirth of Souls, the game is really looking like the complete package. You have a story mode with hours of content. It literally goes from the beginning of Bleach to the end of the second big arc.
He is right. I think they said it's over 140 hours worth of story mode stuff in this game.
Right before you go into the full bring arc and things like that. I just got into Bleach, y'all, so all this stuff is brand new to me. I love it.
They move around in arena so much. Well, that it's more like the original term was a 3D fighter, but then it became an arena fighter when games like Budokai came out. So a lot of people are like, technically, arena fighters are like a subgenre of 3D fighters. But most people feel like a 3D fighter is more like Tekken, Soul Calibur, and I guess another game I'm forgetting. 140 hours, yeah.
I literally am caught up now. I'm rereading it right now as we go. Bleach is actually peak. And for longtime fans, you actually have an extra story where people who have already experienced the Bleach story.
And yeah, this is another couple hours worth. This is probably like another like 50 or so hours worth of stuff in this extra mode.
Get a bonus story that has never been told before. And then of course you have your versus mode, you have a training mode, and then you have online options as well. Something I've always told people is Bleach is like just Under Night with like extra steps, bro. Like
yeah, basically. in one of Shinji's stories, it's a flashback arc to when he fought Urahara Kisuke, basically.
Like they really kind of have that same kind of deal going on where, you know, you have like your hollows and you have the void characters, you have your different factions of people. You have the main character that has the ultimate blade, you know, and the blade is, you know, kind of their blade. You also have the person who inherits like the clan and things like that, but so on and so forth. And I know
What? Hold on, wait.
that has the characters, you have a deal going on. It's like just Under Night with like extra steps, bro. Like they really kind of have that same kind of deal going on.
Oh, he's comparing to Under. I was like, what is he going on about?
Plan and things like that, but so on and so forth. And I know my FGC folk are kind of doubting it a little bit, but let me talk to you guys about the mechanics of the game. Something that largely turns me off as a fighting game player is how anime games usually have abusable defensive mechanics where normally you can barely get a hit on your opponent or they can just get out of your combo for free and there's no consequence to their actions. It's one of the reasons I didn't get into Storm and one of the other reasons why I don't like Sparking Zero that much. I really like Demon Slayer though because they kind of found a middle ground of how to do that. I really just want to be able to play true neutral with my opponent. And it seems this game has that. Bleach has a resource called the reverse meter. And the reverse meter can be used for a few different things. You have the white burst, which is called a soul reverse, which is basically the gold burst in Guilty Gear where you're getting meter because you burst in neutral and you're just getting meter for your other moves to do things.
Don't start, Logan. I already had to deal with it earlier. Do not start.
And you have yellow reverse, which is called chain reverse, and that's basically what your red RC would be in Guilty Gear, where you basically continue the combo using a move that's like continues to chain the combo together.
I prefer core over Aang.
And then you have blue reverse. Blue reverse is called burst reverse, and it acts just like it sounds. It's a burst. It allows you to get out of combos. Each of these costs 50% of the reverse meter, so you are not able to do it often at all. You really have to build that meter first before you use those resources.
Yeah.
And you can only use one at a time. I know some people have special benefits like Ichigo where he can go in.
What do you say? Ichigo's name like that? Yeah, that.
Use one at a time. I know some people have special benefits.
Your go. I already knew that, bro. I had to deal with that since he got shown off back in like 2014. It's just that this makes it worse.
Ichigo, where he can go into Hall of
Ichigo.
Use reverse, and that allows him to do more damage to opponents. But some people don't have mechanics at all. It's just a normal utility move. And there's so much more in this system that just screams that it's going to be a better fighting game than I think a lot of people think it's going to be. And honestly, between this and Hunter x Hunter, I think anime games.
Ooh. Don't bring up Hunter x Hunter, dog. Don't bring up Hunter x Hunter.
They're really starting to try to reach into a middle ground of actually being really competitive, but also being kind of fun with IPs. It's kind of funny because it feels like the Dio in Dragon Ball FighterZ was just a sign of things to come. Like, it's almost prophetic. And between all these different mechanics that it has built into it, there's also one more mechanic that comes from a game series that has not been around in the last decade. It has a transformation mechanic just like Bloody Roar. And this mechanic goes off a completely different meter. Some people only have one transformation, some people have multiple transformations. And there's actually a character that we don't know fully how he works, but he has a ton of transformations based off of different things that he has to do. Like, honestly, this is seeming to be one of the coolest fighting games to come out this year. And it just began. And one thing I really hope is that the FGC kind of opens up their mind a little bit more to try something a little bit different. I know we're normally not looking at these.
I'm not gonna say he's wrong, but from like my POV, from how people reacted from the FGC, a lot of people want it to be part of the FGC while not being more catered to the casuals and anime fans. So like, I think most people are open to it. It's just that if you were just to say, oh, it's more, if you just say it's an anime game, then yeah, from like people who don't care about like Bleach or something like that. But if it's like a, excuse me. If someone knows about fighters, they're gonna assume that this is like possibly another fighters like game. If you get what I mean.
A serious long-term event. But I think some of these have staying power, and I think some of them, of course, are just for fun. And this one seems like it's the former. The only big hope I have here though is that the devs put rollback in it, because
You know dang well, you know that is never happening. It is a Bandai Namco game. They are not adding rollback. Well, it's getting published by Bandai Namco, but Bandai is not giving no money for rollback. They are not. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be as buggy as any other anime, not buggy, laggy as any other anime fighting games, but adding or asking for rollback, you are smoking some. You know how long fighters took to get rollback? You know, rollback is one of the reasons why that JoJo game died. Because Bandai did not want to pay the devs to get rollback. And rollback was pretty much needed for that game to survive just because how many people wanted to play that game. Maybe a sequel, yeah, exactly, a sequel maybe, but like this game's gonna probably have like what, I'll give like 3-4 years maybe. I'll say maybe 3, maybe 2 years. If it does well, maybe 2 or 3 years worth of support. They are not adding rollback later on. You're actually smoking some.
Otherwise this game is going to probably end up like JoJo's, where it was an amazing game, but since there was no rollback, it was a little bit harder to have matches.
Exactly, see?
Also, did you know all these games that I named in this video, you can play on Fightcade right now for free. You can play these all on Fightcade with rollback, so you can get a feel for what Bleach is going to be like a little bit earlier. That's probably something I'll be doing on the channel. I might even have like a stream where we go through some of these games before Bleach comes out. And I have a few other videos on Bleach that I want to do before the game comes out. I definitely plan on covering the game on this channel. Bleach is something that I'm like really passionate about, even though I'm brand new to it. Like I said, I've already watched through the entire thing. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, honestly. And it took me about 3 tries to actually give it an open mind. And I hope you guys give it an open mind and look into BLEACH Rebirth of Souls. Anyways, this has been your boy ZettaSlow. Please like and subscribe if you're new here. Until next, everybody.
Jesus Christ, that's a long outro.
Stay groovy. Love each and every one of y'all. We out of here. Peace.
I can't talk though. Thank you everyone who came to go watch this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and thank you to Zeta for allowing me to do this reaction. His socials are going to be down in the description below, and I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you and goodbye. Peace.